You look Rogue, who, I remind you guys, swept G2 in the last regional. They are definitely a team on the rise. Peeps have kind of fallen off just a little bit since last split, so they're going to really struggle in this one.
Well, current points only has these two teams separated by 20, so whoever wins this is going to be taking that spot. Both teams in the top 6 right now, both teams above Alpine. It's now going to be up to who can get the results today to start pulling themselves away heading into the latter half of our season. Here's Gyro off the crossbar immediately. First killer, make sure that he can scramble to keep the danger away, but there is the danger right there. The Peeps always have that wild card in the form of Gyro. And it's going to be a shot though, and that is pretty simple actually for Rogue. They go up by 1 at the start of the game.
Yeah, just far too easy here. Illusion was just watching what was going on at the near post. It's his job to cover the net on that play. He didn't do so. And Rogue are just a more consistent team. Once again, they get the goal on their first attack. You know, we can't take away from the Peeps offense, though. They really are a very aggressive team, especially off the ball. But the problem is Rogue's defense is exceptional. And I think the Rogue offense is just as good as the Peeps are. It's that difference in defense for me that really separates these two.
I'm going to see whether or not Rogue can keep that chance going their way, as Peeps almost had another stumble. Going to be coming out yet again. First killer, 2 players gone, means Illusion has to at least get the clear over to AJ. Back to Illusion one more time. That's what you're going to need from the Peeps if they're going to take this series.
Oh, what a pass by AJ. That was unreal. The crazy thing about this is he didn't even have ball cam on for that play. He was ball cam off, driving underneath the ball, pure instinct, knew not only where the ball was, but also knew where Illusion was to his right-hand side. That is phenomenal communication. Once again, the Peeps offense is causing problems. But even that was next level by AJ. We don't often see a blind pass at that kind of short range.
So 1 each now. Peeps currently under a bit of an offense, and that was a play that had to be read very well defensively. Got to figure out whether or not the attacking player actually can make contact, or whether or not they can actually turn it into the net, or if you've actually got time to try and get rid of it. Torrentoro now over to first killer. Knows just how dangerous he can be when he's allowed time on the ball, and that's exactly what he's trying to give himself. Didn't quite figure out what he was quite going to do with it. It was a very, very long time in this series for him to start zoning in on those sort of plays. Oh, there we go.
Oh,
first killer pops out to Toroko, and Gyro will keep it out. Okay, we're having one of those sort of series where both teams are just going to go and try and catch each other out of the most insane of touches. First killer's going to find his neck plate removed from him. My goodness, that could have been horrifying for the defense.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you read that one. It was a pre-flip pass from first killer where he managed to hit the ball behind him. And it's so difficult to predict that. I'd say just at this stage of Rocket League's development, it's impossible to see that coming. These teams are both really innovating here, coming up with brand new shots and playing brilliantly on the fly, just reading the positions immediately and reacting very, very well. Still though, first killer and the gang have had the majority of the pressure. That's dangerous for the Peeps. They really need to try and get the ball into the Rogue half. Try and put the pressure on Rogue, because when Rogue are in a tight game position, they just feel so safe. They're not going to overextend. They're a very, very careful team with how they advance.
And with the positions that we currently find the Peeps in, they become very susceptible to demos. If Rogue end up wanting to go for them, I'm going to get rid of it just yet. It's up to Illusion to buy this team a little bit of space. Done somewhat well at that. Looks still 100 boost. See what effect that will have in the long run. For now, though, it's Torrentoro. Try to read Gyro. Now first killer takes the shot, puts it in.
My.
And that was a brutal shot from first killer.
Yeah, look at Torrentoro as well. He landed on Gyro on the back wall. Then he bumps Illusion off the back wall as well. That was insane. Really coming up with a new position there to be aggressive. Not rotating out. He knew that Toroko and first killer were both still back in the game. And, a little backflip there from first killer. That wasn't intended. Rogue have got the full squad in defense again, though. This is so difficult to get past. You're rarely going to get a free goal against Rogue these days. They, don't double commit, and they don't really overcommit by default. And with how effective their communication looks at the moment, I really just don't expect to see many mistakes from them.
First killer, straight back on it. There has been no chance to control the boost so far for the Peeps. Therefore, you do tend to end up being the slower team if you don't. Taroko off the ceiling. He's going to end up leaving it for first killer.
Oh,
there's the brace of first killer. And you just see how confident this new look Rogue is. What a touch. And if you're AJ, you try your best, but that's all you can try at all.
Yeah, Taroko got a ton of power on that first shot. Even though he didn't land on the ceiling and get a clean reset so that he could dodge into the ball, he kind of just bounced off the ceiling. Because he didn't land on his wheels, I think he might have bounced a bit faster. So he arrived back near the ball a little bit quicker than the Peeps defense were expecting. And really, they have just been outplayed here. Rogue really earning this win, or earning this lead, I should say. It is still possible for the Peeps, but oh dear, they've just given away a glorious opportunity. I don't think they're going to get many better chances than that one.
Certainly not. 30 seconds here. Illusion delays the challenge, but again, you can see the Peeps constantly colliding with one another. They've had enough issues with the physical play from Rogue. They don't need to really help out with that. Feel pass to AJ. Oh, and he's gone straight past it. And for the Peeps, they will look at these final few moments as opportunities lost. Could have made this game a lot more interesting. Illusion will try and buy his team something. But there he is, confirmation that game one is going to Rogue, and they look really good doing it.
Yeah, both teams, credit to them, did a really good job being creative and unpredictable in offense. However, Rogue were just the more consistent of the two teams. They look almost impervious at the halfway line at times. The Peeps just can't find a way out. They can't find a way past them. And that's going to be a really difficult thing to come back from this series. The Peeps really needed this, especially those final few chances at the end of the game. Even if it wasn't going to be enough to come back in this game, it would have been nice to pick up that consolation goal, get the momentum swinging back in their favor before the next game. But all they've got to show for themselves after this game one is finished is that beautiful assist by AJ. And it really was a phenomenal assist from his first-person POV. It's a great read. But they're going to need a whole lot more where that comes from, and more importantly, they're going to need to sort out the defense, which was struggling against Rogue's relentless pressure.
Yeah, I feel like, especially for the Peeps, they can at least take some solace from the fact that we didn't really see them often in the blue side of the field, but we did see them create 3 clean opportunities for themselves to score from. They'll be quite happy at that ratio, given how little time they actually had to create anything for themselves. But we will get ourselves into game number 2, and this is one that the Peeps will want a better look at, especially regarding what side of the field they are on. Here is Gyro. Well read, you can already see 2 players stuck on the backboard for Rogue. Infield pass to AJ. It'll be difficult to score from here, but he will certainly try. Toro keeps it out, and this is the difficulty. Gyro again colliding with his own teammate. The Peeps just seem to be magnetic when it comes to hitting one another.
Yeah, the Rogue are also speeding up. I don't know how First Killer won the race to that high ball there. He took off later than the defender, and the ball was actually moving towards the defender. It just shows the insane pace that Rogue can play at, picking the most efficient flight paths on every single aerial. It's a very nice demo in the back corner. That'll be a positive trade for Rogue. They have got follow-up in the play. Not afraid of the Peeps. Rogue are getting in their faces. They're putting the pressure on them. Actually, very nice touch in defense there by Turo. That was an awkward one, but he somehow managed to knock it behind him and safely into the corner.
That was one that he certainly had to get. The demo out on the goalkeeper, and now we've got even more demos across the field. Peeps have decided, well, we can't seemingly outplay you from our own side, so instead we're going to wipe out the third man. They get yet another one, and AJ now needs to use that room to get his team out, and that is exactly what they will do. The Peeps actually looking really good. Set up for Gyro, and he will get it. Demo the third man. Pull out brilliance from AJ, and make sure you don't mess it up, Gyro, because that was fantastic.
That is just ridiculous from AJ. Even after the flip reset outplay on the first challenge, First Killer still had the shot covered. He had the save, but AJ got ahead of the ball, slowed it down, forcing First Killer to miss, and then there was nobody left for the Peeps to get past. Just another crazy assist for AJ. He's already had a couple, one on each game.
And the Peeps already with another demo. For the field of players really set itself up here. Gyro now looking for Taroko, and the Peeps have found an answer here in game 2. Looking much better across the field, and it's much more difficult to hold on to a midfield that Rogue were certainly dominating in game one when you don't have a car there anymore for it. Oh, that's a huge miss from Gyro. Well, oh my God.
Oh my.
AJ.
What?
Well, he got them the first goal. He's kept them that goal as well.
Yeah, what on earth is this carry from AJ right now? He is just serving goals up on a plate to his teammates and then saving them when they blunder on the back wall. That was a ridiculous save. It really did look like First Killer had played it perfectly, waiting to see if the miss is going to happen and then putting the ball nice and low into the open net. But AJ really threw himself across the goal quickly, a lot more quickly than First Killer expected. But the pressure's still on. Gyro's awkwardly positioned on the back wall here. Does not look comfortable. Still gets a nice 50-50 on that one. And AJ's there to guide the ball to safety. Illusion joins in the fray as well. The full team on the Peeps is helping out with his counter-attack. A Rogue get bodies behind it. First Killer now will try and return the favor.
Gyro looked to swipe across at Taroko on his way through. Peeps seeing a lot more of the other side of the field here. First Killer looks to take the shot. He is shut down by Illusion. The pass back over to AJ. If there's a player you want on this right now, it is going to be this one as he takes it the entire way. AJ is red hot.
Well, you know, sometimes you'll hear players say in interviews that all that matters is how much First Killer wants to win a game. That's what decides how competitive Rogue are going to be. What about AJ? He's just decided that he doesn't want to lose today. He is absolutely playing out of his mind. The Rogue have really got their work cut out for them. You never know. Gyro and Illusion might step up as well. They really haven't had to do a lot in this second game. AJ's just carrying it all by himself. But Gyro and Illusion are capable. This full Peeps lineup. They know how to play Rocket League. It looks like it's going to be a closer series than I expected.
There are many ways to lead. AJ has decided to lead by example. 2 goals up. That might not last too much longer. Torrentoro comes on in. And that is going to make the ending period of this Forbidden Temple matchup that much more interesting, Johnny.
Wow, how did First Killer get his car past that challenge? You know, going over the top of the aerial challenge for a double touch, it's quite easy to knock the ball over the challenge, but to also get your car over the top without overcompensating and ending up way over the top where the ball's bouncing, that's insane. Turrentoro now trying to join in with First Killer's response to AJ's individual efforts in this game. It's been all about the solo plays in game 2, but for now, AJ's have been more impressive.
They would like at least one more just to make this a little bit more comfortable for them. AJ didn't get a second touch. First Killer, one-on-one against Gyro, and Gyro keeps it out. Definitely making up for some earlier mistakes, and AJ will be very happy for that. Taroko ends up leaving it. All 3 players, though, for Rogue all jumped for it. That gives a lot of time off the clock. Crucial seconds left as the Peeps go hunting for that third Gyro. Well, if it looked confusing, that's because it was supposed to be. The defense couldn't read that. It's Taroko actually Torrentoro. This is, how on earth are these defenders reading this so well? 10 seconds left here. Another big block. Torrentoro guides it around AJ. Gyro left by himself again. Infield pass. And Gyro managed to get a block over into the opponent's car. Still got to find the ball onto the floor. Illusion and Gyro both went. Torrentoro under pressure by Illusion. Steals the 100 boost. Going to look to try and drop this down in any way they possibly can. Does finally get that. No, First Killer keeps it alive. Torrentoro to First Killer. First Killer back to Illusion. And Taroko up against Illusion. First Killer can keep this one alive. That's not the easiest touch for Torrentoro to get to. Wow. And the Peeps have answered back by taking game 2.
What a game. This one had it all. The solo efforts. And at the end there, you know, we were singing AJ's praises for getting the Peeps in front and doubling up that lead after an insane save early in the game. But how about that late game defense from Gyro? I don't think many people would pick Gyro in a 1v1 with First Killer. He just, you know, beat First Killer in a 1v1 where Torrentoro was right beside him threatening to demo. I'm actually a little bit surprised that First Killer and Torrentoro didn't slow down the dribble and go for that demo play, which has become so common when you're in a 2v1 against a goalkeeper these days. But look at that save from AJ. It just had equalizer written all over it, but he keeps it out the back of the net, scores yet again on the counter. You got to also give credit to Rogue for this response. This was a response that really showed a lot of character from Rogue. They didn't panic. They had a lot of reason to be frustrated there, with AJ's save on the goal line shot from First Killer. But they weren't frustrated. They really gave themselves a good chance to come back. It was only the late game heroics of Gyro that kept them out of it. Now 2-0 will add one more goal to Rogue's day. Perfect placement off a phenomenal 50-50 from First Killer. Really though, that's such a great shot from 2-0. Keeps so much power on it. The goalie has no chance.
I think Turanturo's gone out for a car swap as well. Saw it happen with Justin yesterday, actually, and saw exactly the sort of game he got after the fact. 1-0 here for Rogue. Remember, best of sevens all day long. For those of you unaware of how double elimination bracket works as well, these two teams already have lost in this. Teams that you'll see later on still have a loss available to them. And Gyro. All right, I was worried about him through the start of the last game and in game one, but Gyro seems to be waking up here. We were asking whether or not AJ's performance might help the team kick into gear. Gyro's looking better as time goes along.
Yeah, AJ, of course, is the star player for the Peeps. He is. It can become AJ versus First Killer in this matchup at times, but that's not to throw shade at any of the other players in the lobby. This is an incredibly high-rated, incredibly high-skilled lobby. It's just that First Killer and AJ, on their day, can just look like the best player in the world. They're just waiting for Justin to retire, and maybe they can have that pinned to their wall. But this match has been so much more than that. Gyro's defense has been outrageous, and even a couple of flip reset plays in offense, neither of them resulting in goals, but they've been threatening. And yeah, Rogue have definitely had to pay very close attention to Gyro in offense as well.
And one thing they'll also have to keep close attention to in this game is the third man, where they're positioned, and are they under threat from the Peeps? Here's Torrentoro to get himself a second. AJ keeps it out, and a second block will keep a rebound from going in. First Killer against Gyro. Rogue seeing a much more precise game for them when it comes to the way they're trying to set up. There's a Lucian. That is so dangerous. That is read early on by the offense. They are getting over to you. Now a Lucian. Back over to Gyro. Gyro's actually going to get this. And First Killer pre-jumps, and he gets the car in front of it.
That's just crazy. First Killer's now placing pre-jump saves into the corner, making it look easy, really. He just knew exactly where that shot was headed. You've got to favor the attacker in that position. It's a spot where the goal should be coming, but when you've got First Killer in the goal line, I think the advantage actually swings to the defense, because his shot stopping really is something special.
Will that give the Peeps the confidence to start moving back forwards? Get that goal back. Toro has AJ looking the wrong way. This can be such a difficult position to play from, but AJ taking on all comers in that corner. But he had a teammate that came out with him. Lucian has actually opened up a little bit of space for Rogue to work with. And Rogue will be happy just to spend the rest of these 2 minutes over here. Steal these back boosts as First Killer just did. Take out your goalkeeper. If they get a goal, they'll be perfectly happy with it. But for the time being, it's all about just holding them back. Gyro won't have enough boost to keep this one out. Well played, though, by the Peeps. They did not get stuck like they did in the first game. Now Torrentoro looks for the top corner. And Gyro very aware at the moment of every single shot, but that's a difficult position for AJ. Expected a touch from Gyro. Almost got caught out for it. Minute and a half here. And the Peeps have spent quite a bit of time stuck over here. First Killer lands on it. 2-0.
Well, if the far post accuracy wasn't enough, how about this for a recovery? First Killer just bounces off the back wall and then lands on the rebound right next to the net. You honestly just cannot stop this man. It is ridiculous what he can do with a Rocket League ball. It's almost the exact same shot that Turinturo scored earlier on, except this one had a rebound attached to it as well. Every single goal so far for the Peeps has come from AJ. But look at the threat from, oh my days, First Killer and Turinturo. This 1-2 offense is unstoppable. First Killer just walked this one in. Makes it look effortless.
He just 1v3'd them. He 1v3'd a top 6 team in North America.
Yep.
We can't sell a player any better than that.
The crazy thing is, I'm not surprised. Are you surprised, Jogan? Because I'm not actually surprised.
As a matter of fact, the main question I want to ask is, you know, first killer, if he gets his way, he's going to want to try and do this against a top 4 team, a top 3 team, a top 2 team, all the way until he is the #1 team in the region. Taroko, he's going to try his own version of it. Good challenge. That's got first killer coming up in support. Is it hat trick? Is it ever? First killer has taken the gauntlet thrown down in the previous game, and he has put it on and he has ran away with this one.
Yeah, Rogue just looked like a full threatening lineup. Taroko there, just spoon-feeding first killer his third goal. Not that first killer needs help for it, I'm sure, to get that third goal. He might even pull one out himself again. But Turaturo's been a real nuisance for the Peeps in this game. He's been very difficult for them to read. He's been breaking rotation consistently to put pressure on the Peeps high up the field. Outside of AJ's individual skill on the counterattacks, the Peeps have looked pretty limited in terms of what they can do as a team, what kind of threats they can bring to the table that Rogue won't be able to deal with. Rogue, meanwhile, whoever gets their hands on the ball, they're able to do something that makes the Peeps uncomfortable. And that's, for me, the biggest difference between these two teams. Rogue are just handling the majority of what the Peeps are doing. Unless it's AJ, they really just haven't got anything that Rogue don't see coming.
I feel like this is now worth us having a quick look towards Taroko as well, because I feel like a lot of people, especially ones that are relatively new to the esports scene, will be looking at this and just going, well, why isn't Taroko playing at this level? It's because he's doing exactly what he needs to. Yeah. You've got first killer and Turanturo playing at this level. There's only so much time you can actually spend on the ball. Give it to those players that are playing very well. Taroko doing exactly what he has to at the moment. Sit back in that third man, avoid being demoed, and make sure that the pressure can stay on for your team. That is the performance that Rogue are going to want, and they're going to need a lot of them if they want to take this entire tournament.
Indeed, yeah. The supporting act for Rogue is just playing at a higher level than the Peeps supporting act. You know, it looks like AJ versus First Killer mostly, at least in the limelight for this series. But Turanturo is actually the one leading most of the attacks for Rogue. He is the player who will turn in the most aggressive positions. Like I said before, he'll break rotation, and by that I mean he will be on his way out of a play, and whereas some players would just keep going back to get boost, he'll actually turn whenever he sees an opportunity and challenge as early as possible, because First Killer would rather play off a chaotic situation that Turanturo creates. Once Turanturo's gone in and disrupted everything in the Peeps defense, then First Killer comes in with full speed, full boost, and just dribbles the ball past everybody. He's actually following up most of the attacks. And Taroko, like you mentioned, is just playing that third man role very, very effectively. He's one of the better third man that we see right now. The priority defender, if you will, for Rogue.
Turanturo looks for First Killer. Don't expect that to be the last time I say that this series. Now Taroko, he's actually having his own go at this. He's managed to find the block. First Killer straight back in. And even then, you get to check out what the rest of the rotation is doing. As Turanturo accidentally lands on that one, the danger of ball side rotation. You know, you check out what's happening as Taroko moves in and is that aggressive. First Killer and Turanturo right back. They steal both of the middle boosts, and they can turn themselves back around, ready to go yet again. All because Taroko was capable of buying them that much time.
It's a very interesting matchup. One style is actually the Peep style is more common, in fact, having your star player lead the attack. He just makes his own plays and then the other players follow up, whereas Rogue, I actually prefer what they're doing. They've got the Turanturo disruption. That's a nice turn by AJ. Oh, he's missed the open net though. For all the chances the Peeps have had, you would have expected AJ to put that one away.
Yeah, everyone just sort of saw which player's name it was on it. You thought it was a done deal at that point. Instead, the Peeps find themselves still in a 0-0 game here. Now Taroko over to First Killer. It's a hard angle to hit, and he certainly almost did it. You get the feeling that just if the delivery was a bit better, that one could have very well have been in.
Yeah, Taroko, you know, made it possible for First Killer. Didn't make it easy. Rogue are still piling on the pressure here, and this is ideal for them. Just let Turanturo go in and make a mess, and then have First Killer come in and clean it up for them. Peeps are holding on though, and they haven't been on the ropes completely yet. That's a nice pre-flip out play from Gyro. Buys AJ some space. First Killer's pre-flip will take all of that away. The one main thing I want to see from the Peeps, if they're going to be able to step up and really make this an interesting series. They've clearly got moments here where they can match Rogue. But right now, they just need to all advance with confidence. They have to challenge Rogue in the midfield. If they just sit back like this, Rogue are going to boost starve them and then hit them when they're forced to play more slowly.
Good long clear, but we're going to be able to do with it after the fact. Torrentoro looks to trap the ball. AJ moves in a bit late. Actually allows Gyro to move on in. Drops down very awkwardly, and Taroko will at least be able to palm the ball out. Get very close to being taken out by the falling car. Pop up again by Gyro. Peeps looking to try and outpace them right now in midair. It's going to get a lot more difficult when you're a car down. AJ moves on in, and he's respawned right in front of where Illusion wanted to go. Still Illusion able to barrage his way straight through his teammate, and now they go looking for Taroko yet again. Peeps finding a lot of success with that in the last game, or game 2, I should say. But Rogue have adapted. A lot more elusive right now on that back line. Best touch from Torrentoro. Does allow AJ to move on in. AJ that I'm sure wants to make amends for the earlier miss. We get a chance to, though. Here's Taroko off the backboard, and nobody following up for Rogue. Rare occasion where that's happened.
It's been a very even game. One of the closer ones that we've seen so far. Rogue have had more chances, but AJ's had the best chance of the game. Probably the clearest, the only clear-cut chance that has happened. The dive-in challenges have really stopped for the Peeps. They've realized that first killer Torrentoro are going for a lot of pre-flips and getting into position a bit quicker than you might expect. So there's no point lunging in and trying to take 50-50s. The pre-flip, that burst of speed, will just end up beating you to the ball. That standoff in defense has actually really helped them. But are they going to be able to play with confidence when opportunities do come their way? You know, that miss from AJ is still probably in the back of his mind.
Oh, flick there from Taroko. Torrentoro trying to make something of it. One that you have to react to very quickly, and here is Taroko yet again. Back over to Gyro. Still 0-0 here over at Utopia Coliseum. We're going to go over to overtime, or is there going to be one more chance? Here it goes, the first killer, and it's just off target. And that is a sigh of relief for Illusion. Almost handed it right over to the Talisman.
Yeah, that's just a nightmare clear ball for Illusion. He'll be delighted to see the shot go wide. About 1 second, I think, left on the clock had it gone in. Almost impossible to come back from. Now a chance for the Peeps as a clear lands right on Gyro's head. If they can steal this game, we've got a series in our hands. If they can't, and Rogue looks so comfortable. Now here's AJ, and he will get it on target, but it's saved by Torrentoro. I think he just pitched that one off his own crossbar. Again, AJ not able to apply the finishing touch.
He is bumped out mid-air. Torrentoro, long clear, and back line was quite far forward. Allows Torrentoro to try and get that little bit of space for the rest of the team. Taroko to the corner, unchallenged for the longest time. It's going to be languishing around in the midfield, and Gyro actually expected a challenge. First killer was not willing to oblige for him.
Yeah, first killer with plenty boost in the position would rather fake that challenge, knowing that Gyro doesn't really have any significant outplays that he can be making. Gyro passed one, but the second challenge again is successful for Rogue. First killer, vanilla air dribble. He gets challenged by Illusion. Torrentoro's got the first follow-up. He's denied by Gyro. Great defense from the Peeps there. Challenging early and with confidence. Making sure to get goal side of every single play.
Got to make sure that they stay in control of the boost, though. Gyro with 100 boost, now over to 60. Now tries to go underneath the challenge. Doesn't quite happen, but the Peeps going to take their turn now in offense. AJ tries to block against Torrentoro. Where's the follow-up? Would have been Illusion, but Illusion and Gyro both over. They now need to recover because first killer... Oh, that was a awkward landing for first killer. Almost 2 minutes played here. And the Peeps need this one, otherwise they're going to see 3 match points up against them. Torrentoro back down again. He's almost baiting AJ in for the challenge. He's going to drop down. First killer yet again. By far the quickest one to it, and he wants to try and take on the entire team yet again.
Good defense. Solid play by Gyro. He's needed that, and Peeps have needed him. He's saved them in game 2. A couple of late saves, and he's done it many times here with early challenges. He has really putting in some huge plays to stop this first killer Turinturo two-man offense. You know, the shot total tells you all you need to know about these two teams. AJ's got 5 of the Peeps 6 shots. First killer and Turinturo have got 5 and 7 between them. Taroko only on 1. That's the real difference. We've got a two-man offensive powerhouse from Rogue. And then you look at what the Peeps are doing. It's pretty much just AJ who's had the confidence to move forward.
Oh, and Gyro gonna have to take quite some time here to get back. Pass to first killer. Not going for that killer blow just yet. Not looking towards the backboard. Might be a bit of possum to try and use that later on. Gyro, it's an awkward one to try and clear. You can't quite nail that as much as you want. Over to Turinturo. And speaking of awkward, that shot did not have the sort of zest on it that I'm sure he would have liked. Right now, it's up to the Peeps just to try and keep this away and make sure that they don't make a single mistake. Rogue be ready for it the moment it happens. As you can see, Taroko already moving forward. Gyro able to keep it out.
Wow.
And this is a very, very tense game 4 here, Johnny. Both teams have almost given up on that midfield. It is just taking a turn each and seeing who's going to make the mistake. Infield pass. And as you mentioned earlier on, that confidence just isn't there. I don't think an infield pass in that final third is ever going to be met by anyone who isn't AJ.
Yeah, it is just a matter of the Peeps trying to get the ball to AJ. I mean, if you give long enough time, I'm sure Gyro or Illusion will create a goal-scoring opportunity. But AJ has been the successful player today. He's been on form at times. This game not so accurate with the finishing touch, but at least if he can make the initial play in the midfield, the Peeps are going to get something out of it. A follow-up shot, perhaps. It really does feel like Rogue's goal is coming eventually, though. They have had ridiculously consistent pressure. They have looked pretty unbeatable at this midfield line, not allowing any additional shots to the Peeps since I mentioned it earlier. Now here's a chance for Illusion to make something happen. Gyro is there, but he's just too far underneath the ball.
Oh, AJ!
Rush that one. Turinturo is connected. First killer walks it in, and it's such a shame. The first time that we see Illusion and Gyro really commit there to an attack, and it doesn't even come close. Gyro flies right under it.
That is not how you want to be dropping a game in overtime. Rogue take it. They've got themselves up to 3-1 on the scoreboard. Just need one more to head on through to the next round. But for the Peeps, that was a make or break play. You pull that off, you get a good play from Illusion and Gyro, you give them the confidence for the rest of the series at a tied up scoreline. Now, this is a dire situation. You're all up against it, and your two players that you're looking to engage a little bit more to get them more involved in the plays just botched it on the other side of the field and left AJ all by himself. The Peeps, a lot of work to do here, and they've got to be perfect from now on.
Yeah, they are just, trying to refine their confidence. The Peeps are all very talented players. They're all very, dangerous players when they're on form in attack. And the key there is when they're on form. I wouldn't say that Illusion and Gyro are currently on form. You can see that the confidence to play aggressively is just not there. They're not even getting themselves into positions to give it a go. Now, we have to give credit to Rogue, though, for that. There are so few opportunities for the Peeps to advance, and that's making it almost impossible for Gyro, for Illusion to gain that confidence that we know they can have. We've seen it from them both in the past. These are very experienced players. Oh my goodness, AJ though, it's exactly what we talked about, Shogun. Just give this man the ball, and he might just go to do something crazy with it. How about this? You can't read that flick. You just can't read that. I don't care who you are. First killer, it doesn't matter. You don't read those.
Right, well, maybe one win condition right now. It might be a very, very angry AJ on the field. Funnel the boost towards him, give him the ball, and see what will happen after the fact. You might as well. Taroko, though, to first killer. Oh, and that is off target.
I mean, it's a play that it can work. It's definitely harder. It puts a lot of pressure on the one player who is
he seems happy for it.
I mean, we see NRG do this with Justin, and it can work. They look world-class. They sometimes look like the best team in the world. Justin, solo dismantling world-class teams in offense. You know, AJ's one of the players who can do that. Here he comes again. Reset secured. He's got Gyro to follow up, but Gyro's in the post. Oh, no. They're the 3v1.
Oh, Illusion. He's got 3.
Oh, Illusion wins. What a save. Escaping double demo. And you know, we talked about Gyro doing this in game 2. Illusion steps up and makes a heroic defensive play.
That was a bunch of, like, hornets just chasing after him. And he somehow, you know, fair play, managed to keep it out on what seemed to be an absolutely certain goal. You know, you put any of these players one-on-one, you'd expect them to try and score. You put them 3-on-1. Should be a done deal.
Oh
now
my.
off the backboard, that could have gone anywhere. Now drops down yet again. Will the Peeps have the confidence to try and get that second, or does it need to fall into their lap? Here is AJ. We definitely know he does have the confidence. Doesn't have a flip reset. Doesn't need it. AJ versus Rogue. And AJ comes out on top.
Hashtag give the ball to AJ. Seriously, if this isn't the Peeps hashtag on Twitter right now, I don't know what is. This is ridiculous. He continues to impress game after game after game. He is such a powerful threat, such a tool that the Peeps can use to their advantage. And, you know, just the question is, can he keep this up? If he does, then, like I said earlier, we may have a series in our hands here. But he's got so much heavy lifting to do on offense. I will be so impressed if AJ can pull this off, if the Peeps can pull this off, because Rogue looked great today. They look like they're ready for a deep run.
Well, we already got one game out of this, as you mentioned earlier on, game 2, but it did seem like the hypermeter just needed recharging after that. They're going to need it all out for the rest of this. Here is AJ yet again. A little bit too much time. At first touch, definitely not what he was after.
I mean, I love it, though. You saw that. They're doing it. Peeps just give the ball to AJ there. Illusion's like, wait, where's AJ? Okay, he's just to my right. Let me give him the ball and then get out of the way. AJ starts to solo play with the air dribble. It's exactly what they should be doing right now. You know, it doesn't work out there, but it is the correct play. So the Peeps have identified it. They've got their man playing well. Now they're going to try and use it.
Oh, that's going to be very awkward. Gyro able to at least keep it out. But I think as well, it kind of suits the overall play style because we've seen that both Gyro and Illusion less willing to move forward. If you've got someone playing the way AJ is right now, you can settle into that play style and still satisfy those two players that maybe don't want to, you know, poke their head into that blue side of the field quite as much. Sort of put them on the, all right, well, you don't need to score, just make sure we don't concede.
Yeah, and they've both played very well in defense. Gyro carried the defense in game 2. Illusion had a phenomenal 1v3 save in this game, a position that really, he must have been the underdog at least 10-1 from there, but he still came out on top. So they're playing well in defense. They haven't had the confidence in offense yet, and it's going to be difficult to pick it up this late in the series when the rest of the series has been so unsuccessful for both of them in attack. But yeah, they're doing everything they need to do in this game to let AJ, you know, play with the space that he's so effective in. That's what the Peeps have to do right now. I'm sure it's not their game plan every single time. It's not the only way they like to play. But today, it looks like they're winning strategy.
It's the sort of game plan that can come out when you are in that best of 7, when you've got a little bit more time to figure out what is and isn't working. And right now, for Rogue, still trying to find that goal. Even in that game 2, it was still quite dicey towards the end of it. Good boost steal, though, from Illusion.
Yeah.
Makes Taroko's life very, very difficult. Well, it would have been if the ball didn't ricochet straight into AJ. Thankfully, the Peeps keep it under their own control. And Gyro, nice flip reset from him. Buying all that extra time. And the Peeps just need to make sure that this stays clean now. 30 seconds away from putting themselves up to 2 game wins. And Rogue have not had an answer this time around. Torrentoro looks for... It's going to be Taroko, and he's put it underneath. What a shot there from Taroko. You don't always need the power. You just got to put it right where the keeper can't reach it.
Yeah, the pre-jump from AJ was not the answer. Taroko saw that one and stuck it low, or he just predicted that AJ would pre-jump. I mean, pre-jumps are definitely something we see a lot from AJ, so that's great shot selection from Taroko there. Cuts the lead in half and gives Rogue a late comeback option now. If they win this, they are through to the next round, but it is going to be the Peeps who advance into the final 10 seconds of the game. Rogue looking to dribble the ball at a defense, but the Peeps are lined up well. This is hugely advantageous for them. They should be able to convert from here.
Well, last time it took about 30 seconds or so for the ball to hit the ground. Can Gyro make it a little bit easier this time?
Wow.
And they are... Oh, Torrentoro actually keeps it alive. Rogue just never give up. Taroko happy to move back. Over to Gyro. Good block for his team. That will eventually hit the floor, and the Peeps have got their second.
What a struggle it is to get the ball into the ground. I mean, when you're winning on 0 seconds, the entire floor is the goal. You just have to score a goal into the biggest goal you've ever seen. Even that's difficult to get past Rogue. They just keep on popping the ball back into the air and frustrate the Peeps even longer, making them really work for these wins. But they've got it. AJ found some space early on in this game, and he scored 2 out of his 3 shots that he took. Not a single shot for Illusion and Gyro. It's following the same pattern as last game, where I think they had 1 shot between them. They're not even in positions to take shots, and at this point, I don't think they should even try to get into positions to get those shots, because it just isn't working for them. Whenever they have moved forward, they don't look comfortable, and Rogue are very, very good at the counter-attacking playstyle, so you have to just accept that today is not the day for the 3-man offense. Let AJ run wild. Like we keep saying, just give AJ the ball. If the Peeps can give AJ the ball, then everybody who's sleeping on them is going to have to wake up. I hope they set their alarm clocks, because hey, if we go to game 7 here, who knows what's going to happen? It's another game that first killer, Turoko, they've got to win here. They'll feel like they should win this with how dominant they have been overall.
Listen here, mate. All right. This has had a long year. We've had a lot of broadcasts, but this is the final RLCS of the year, and I've still got voice left.
True.
Okay? People will not be sleeping if we head into that game 7.
Oh, no.
Well, the players will make sure of it, and I'm sure Will will make sure of it. But that is Gyro actually giving his team a bit of space. AJ couldn't quite beat Turoko to it, who less tried to cover the play and more smothered it. Now Illusion a good block. Would have been very, very dangerous there for Rogue. AJ, that's horrid for him. And that's a way out, or was it? There we go, off the post. First killer. Looks to transition. AJ cut straight across his card. Doesn't allow that to be too free.
Yeah, heard a bit of a sigh there from both of us, because AJ's wave dash just narrowly missed there. He accidentally fumbled the wave dash on the ceiling. If he'd landed that one, it would have given him a bit of a kick of speed to catch up to the ball, and he would still have had a flip intact when he gets there, which is really important. If he wants to outplay multiple players, you've got to have a flip. You've got to have that dodge available. I
just watched that bit by Gyro. At no point did he actually get to see the fact that 2 players just trying to dart at him from the backboard. Rogue will come at you from very, very irregular parts of the field. I'll be consistently aware of it. AJ up again, first killer, not taking any chances, pre-jumps it to make sure he can meet that ball mid-air. Perfectly smart idea. AJ very good at darting around attackers, but you'd rather give him some sort of barrier to go around compared to just allowing him to get up to the air, grab his flip reset, and do whatever he wants after the fact. Here he comes yet again. Flip reset in hand. All 3 players back. And that is a blue wall that's going to be very difficult to break down for AJ. Back off the backboard yet again. Illusion plays it all the way back. It's not a very good first touch, though. That one, I think, was meant for AJ. Gyro, though, is actually looking a lot more confident. He's taken to the wall, taken to the ceiling a bit more here. Might see the Peeps adapting to the same sort of play style that we've seen Rogue doing, where it's up to 1 player to disrupt, the other player to score, and then keep Illusion and Turoko in the back line. Gyro ends up leaving it. AJ pops the ball to the air. Can he recover this one? Almost managed to duck that one through. It's the reason why you'll see a lot of offenses as well utilize those challenges, because that ball can go anywhere. And it's all up to who can get to it first after the fact. All of your defensive positioning becomes very, very worthless sometimes when that ball pops out where you don't expect it.
It's a great defensive touch from first killer. The overhead read is a lot harder for the defense in that position, but first killer makes it look easy. Now Turoko brings another great save out of Gyro. Has he got the second? No, he doesn't. Turo's shot is just a bit too fast for him. And after being, I think, forced into defense for the longest time we've seen from them this series, Rogue on the break. Catch Gyro in a 2v1, and they put it past him.
And it's something that Rogue have been able to rely upon only on a few occasions, but they have made the most of it this time around. 2 minutes left. Is it going to be yet another one off the backboard? Up comes Turantoro. There's not too much on it, though. AJ, who has seen much more of this ball than I think he's got used to. He's almost managed to take it the entire way.
Oh, my.
And again, Rogue just so quick. They've had to use each and every player every single time, but they're keeping it out.
Yeah, AJ is just a one-man highlight reel here. Just unreal to turn that ball into a shot. as quickly as he did. It definitely surprised Rogue, but they still had someone covering the goal anyway. So they're able to get saves even when AJ is pulling out shots that nobody can really predict. Now AJ to the back wall. The first killer will chip it effortlessly clear down the middle. And it's still just AJ who's had the threat, who's had the look about him that might cause Rogue some problems. And they really need him now. The Peeps more than ever looking for AJ in the play. Gyro can't find him, but Illusion might. This is a well played challenge for Turinturo to deny AJ any more opportunities.
The question mark right now for AJ is it time to start being a bit more direct once you get a hold of the ball? Because he's getting pre-jumps now an awful lot. Maybe just receive it, go straight for the double tap off the backboard. Play it as quick as you possibly can, because this team is running out of time and they're running out of opportunities. First killer catches out the third man.
Too good.
2-0.
Yeah, first killer's just too good. You know, whereas AJ has looked like almost the perfect attacking force for the Peeps in this series, first killer really has been that and so much more. Just completely invulnerable, it seems. He never runs out of boost. He's such an efficient player. And this game, his defense was what kept Rogue in this. Some unbelievable saves. He makes them look so easy as well. Just clearing the ball every single time, every single position that you put him in, where other players, even at this level, might feel uncomfortable, might get a bad touch on it. First killer just safely knocks it into the corner and now transitions into a counter-attack single-handedly to secure the game for Rogue, to secure the series for Rogue. It's been a really interesting performance for the Peeps today. This was an exciting series, and they, I think have shown us something new here that we weren't really aware of. They can also just play that style that we sometimes see NRG do. We sometimes see BDS do. Let Justin, let Monkey Moon run riot, and just try and fill the gaps with the rest of the squad. Overall, a pretty solid performance from them, but far too good on the Rogue side of the field. Rogue were just something else. They're going to be really, really tough to beat today.
Yeah, and with that, Rogue do now move past the Peeps in the standings by 20 points. But if you give them their way, they'll have that up by even more by the end of the broadcast. But I agree, the Peeps certainly do look like they've got something that they can work with. It also looks like it's going to take a little bit more time to find out what that's going to be, because this was quite a nervy display from them, which is obviously to be expected. But I'm looking forward to seeing what the Peeps have got in the future. But speaking of the future, I'm looking forward to our near future here, Johnny, because we've got our other lower bracket quarterfinal, G2 Esports against Space Station Gaming. One of these teams is going home.